exciting.
Oh.
We're live again.
We are. Welcome back. We've missed you guys.
Yeah. I feel like we're not getting any better at this, but never mind. Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing okay. Welcome to Satellites Lives. My name's Martin Saunders. I am the youth worker at St Mary's Reigate, which is closed. So instead, we are on the internet. And also with me, joining me, Charles.
Hi, I'm Charles. I am the children's worker. But for some reason, I piggyback on the youth work. So that's cool. Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie, and I'm the intern, and I piggyback on everything, and I really enjoy it.
Brilliant. Well, look, this is another hour of anything could happen with the team from Satellites. So we've got a quiz for you. We've got a talk from one of the leaders that isn't one of us tonight. We've got a bunch of other fun stuff. The semi-final of Rank Your Thanks is coming up. Spoons are out. I'm pleased. So I'm happy.
It's all
to
fair play
participate
from here. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got loads more coming up. So we're going to dive into the notices. But just to say, guys, we miss you. It's great to be with you in this slightly strange way. And we hope you're doing okay. Hopefully this hour will be fun and helpful to you. I'm in a new location this week. I'm in my daughter's bedroom, which has got a kind of changing neon light thing that looks like it's coming out of my neck, I think. So you can enjoy that. It's also got bunting, which feels very cheery. How are you doing, Charles?
I'm okay. I'm still mourning the loss of spoons, but I am okay. I've been kept entertained by one of our year sevens, Henry, who's been posting wonderful videos on our WhatsApp group of him recreating intros to famous TV shows. So I've been enjoying that.
Very, very exciting.
How are you, Katie?
I'm all right, thank you. As I was telling you guys before we started this live stream, I was fasting sweets and chocolate for Lent. And so come Easter Sunday, my joy was complete. All is set right in the world because Christ is alive. And also I got to eat chocolate. And I was very
How
excited.
much chocolate have you eaten in the last couple of days?
Do you know what? For me, not that much. I think my tolerance dropped after Lent. So surprisingly, not as much as I thought I would have. And I've still got plenty left over to kind of pace myself throughout the week until my next trip to Morrison. So we're doing all right.
How do you guys do it in your house? This might be one to open up to the WhatsApp group and the YouTube comments as well. Yeah. How do you divide up your Easter eggs? So do you all hoard your own? That's how I was brought up. You hoard your own Easter eggs and then don't share with anyone. Or now what we do as a family is we actually kind of take one out and break it up and divide it between everybody, and everyone gets a share of everybody's. How do you do yours?
Well, we don't share. I think that's just it's a strategy that at least within my household is just down. It wouldn't work. It would not work. It would just go south very, very quickly. So no, everyone has their chocolate, and you can ask very nicely for someone else to give you a bit of theirs, but no one is under any obligation to share.
Wow, Charles,
I don't know how biblical that
merits
is.
do it. I'm disappointed with Katie, but how do the merits do it?
We our own.
Wow.
I don't know. Katie, did you have a Easter egg hunt on Sunday?
I did not know.
I did.
Mostly because I only live with adults, and that would have been slightly strange.
I mean, so do I.
So does Charles.
I had an Easter egg hunt too. And my dad makes it ridiculously hard. And I was so proud of myself this year because I did it in about 10 minutes. I came back with all the eggs and I was really happy. And then Dad was like, oh yeah, you're missing like half of them. Oh. And somehow I'd missed half of them in the garden. And it's not like a huge garden, but like, I don't know how he hides them, but for some reason, I just can't seem to find them. So the reward for finding them all is that I get to eat them all, if that makes sense. But I tend to spread it out over the year.
Wow. Well, I would like to know, maybe on the WhatsApp groups today, this would be a helpful place to share this. How do you share Easter eggs in your family? We'd love to know, because I feel like the way we do it, it was normal. I was surprised that neither of you are just sharing it with everybody.
We've got some people in the comments who are sharing it with people.
We have.
So that's nice. So Chloe shares their Easter eggs. There's some that are like individual and some that share in one household as well.
Okay.
There's someone's sister stole their chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
So I think Oh, that's not good. That's going to be a tense household. Especially
Caitlin says that she gets so many, she's still eating them by Christmas. Caitlin,
wow.
sharing's caring.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you go on your one walk a day, you're allowed to like drop eggs off at people's houses. That's fine.
Yeah.
You are.
Well, keep telling us. We'll keep going back to that through the next hour. But let's do some notices. So first thing, very importantly, you do need to have Kahoot downloaded on your phone or tablet, or there's other places you can have it as well. But basically, you need to download Kahoot. It's a program that basically allows you to participate in a quiz that we're going to do in about 15 minutes. It's free. You go to the address on the screen or download the app. Oh, I need to do some shout outs before I forget. We have people watching this who aren't, strictly speaking, from our group. So we are broadening out. We've, in a sense, grown. We've managed to grow satellites. And so I want to say hello to Sam, Toby, and Neve, who are watching along in Somerset. So hello to you.
Oh, amazing. Hey, guys.
I have no idea. I didn't know the internet went that far. What?
I was going to do a Somerset voice, but I decided not to.
Don't. You'll immediately alienate our new friends.
Yeah,
so hello, Sam, Toby, and Neve. Welcome to Satellites. Katie.
Welcome. Amazing. Yeah, we have WhatsApp groups, as many of you will know. That's where we've been getting to engage with most of you throughout the week, hear about how you're doing, how we can be praying for each other. And I think that we've had some pretty great kind of church related memes on there recently as well, which have been fantastic. So we've got a group for us year 7 and 8, a group for our year 9 to 13s, and then a sort of digital mode group, which is just thought for the day that's being put out, and that is exclusively Martin. So if you're just feeling like you're needing more content from Martin and also the Bible in your life, then get your parents to email in with your phone number, and Martin can add you to those groups. Charles.
Great. Yeah. We are also on Instagram. So followers, you can scan this thing here, and that will take you to our Instagram page. And we are doing surprise shuffles. Okay. You thought we were going to do them daily, but surprise, no. We're going to do whenever we remember to do them. Okay. That's how it's going to work from now on. Okay. It's not daily. Who needs to do a daily challenge when you could just do one maybe once a week? Or maybe twice a week, depending. Who knows? That's why it's called Surprise Shuffle. So follow our Instagram for that, and for other little Instagram goodness that we will be putting out into the social media world. Over to you, Martin. No, back to you, Katie. Even.
Katie.
Well, on 10:30 at 10:30 every Sunday morning, St Mary's Reigate, our church, is live streaming their services. We just had a whole slew of services over Easter weekend, which are gorgeous and wonderful, but it means that this Sunday is going to be a little bit quieter. There's still going to be something on there though, so make sure that you tune in at 10:30. And then I think beginning next week, we're going to start a new series, and this is a great way, if you haven't been to a normal church service in a while, this is a great way to kind of get a little bit of a taste, see some familiar faces. Yeah, we would love to have you join in. And now to Martin.
Yeah, a couple of things. So first of all, towards the end of the broadcast each week, we do something called Faith Questions with Zachary, where my 6-year-old son reads out very long questions sometimes. You can buckle in for them later on. But we'd love to hear your faith questions. They will be articulated by Zachary, but he won't attempt to answer them. We will try to answer the question. So if you've got anything, if you've been thinking about stuff to do with particularly your faith or life and what it's all about, you can send them to us through anonymously through a link that is in the WhatsApp group. So you need to be part of the WhatsApp group, and then you can you'll get the link there to a form where you can fill it in. The other thing to say is that next week we will be bringing back group time. So we haven't quite figured out the details yet, but we are going to be bringing back groups, and they will take place immediately after Satellites Live 7 till 8. So between 8 and 9, probably in 2 half-hour chunks, there will be an opportunity to meet using something I'm sure you're familiar with, or your parents will be, called Zoom. And so we are going to send out some details about that and some ways that you can sign up for that. But the only way you'll be able to find out about that, and we'll be able to get parental consent and things like that, is if either you email me, your parents email me using my church email address, which is not on the screen, or you can go through the WhatsApp group. So if you're a part of the WhatsApp group, you can do that. Hopefully your parents will have my email address. It's martin.saunders@stmaryrigate.org. Charles.
Grand. And if you have not been listening to Martin and myself's podcast, The Man You Made to Be, why not? Probably because you're a girl and therefore not a man, but you can listen to it anyway. We've had really lovely feedback from both genders, so it's great. So if you would like to listen to our podcast, please do. Last week's was about emotions, and it's a really important one right now in terms of we've all got emotions, but particularly strong ones at the moment. So it's a really good podcast to listen to. And then this week we're also doing the most cringy episode I've ever recorded in my life. So if you just want to watch me squirm for about 30 minutes, we're talking about sex for 30 minutes. And so if you want to watch that, then you can. And we've got a little promo video for you to watch now. Favorite verse in the whole of the Bible?
Yes.
John 11:23.
No.
Nope.
Is it? Are you sure?
No.
Are you sure though? You mean 35?
Yeah, I do.
The last time I cried was watching Wonder Woman. There's a bit, I think, in the trenches in the war where she goes over the top, and I felt so emotional watching her run headfirst into the machine guns with her. Don't do it; it'll set me off. That I. Are you being?
That was her.
Are you being Wonder Woman?
That was when the bomb comes and she goes.
Yeah.
Cool. So you can watch it on YouTube. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, and you can listen to it on Spotify. Katie, do you want to take over? You go.
Yes, sure.
You go. Why not?
That's wonderful. Maybe the smoothest transition yet. Guys, it is time for my new favourite segment. Hopefully your new favourite segment. It's Showcase. Wonderful. Well, last week's it felt very high stakes. There was a lot of tension. There were some amazing entries, and this week's has not disappointed either. Your challenge was to create a audio accompaniment music to our satellites, a theme tune. Okay, there we go, a theme tune to our satellites live intro video, which I have to tell you guys, we haven't even seen yet. We've heard the music, obviously, because we've chosen it, but we haven't seen the video yet. So we're going to be seeing it with you in real time. Unfortunately, we haven't got a kind of compilation of our submissions this week because it is all audio content, and we didn't think that you would want to watch us sit and kind of bop for that long. But we are very, very excited that one of our own, obviously because you're all of our own, has sent in an amazing submission. And so I think without further ado, we can just announce it and then watch the video. Am I right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. The winner this week is, drumroll please, Henrik, and we're going to watch this video now. I'm so excited.
Satellites Live. Satellites Live. Satellites Live.
Wow!
That was
what an amazing audio
amazing.
accompaniment.
So cool.
That was great. Thanks, Martin. That was an amazing theme tune. Well done, Henrik. That was just, I mean, it blew us all away, genuinely. And the rest of you, we had some incredible submissions as well, some really funny, creative ones as well. You guys are so talented. We love you so much. And we are so excited for next week's creative take on Showcase, which is to bake a satellites themed cake. Just go wild, think outside the box, and email pictures of your baked goods to satellitesyouth@gmail.com. We're probably just going to be looking at these pictures wishing that we could actually eat the cakes.
Yeah, why did we do this? Why didn't we say drop them round to our houses? That's a much better way of judging it.
Then we could have actually judged on flavour.
The thing is,
So many
it just
things.
gives those people who aren't really good at making cakes a chance to make a really bad tasting cake that looks fabulous. You know what I mean?
There you
Like,
go.
It's all about the icing. You just ice a cardboard box
It
if you want.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't do that. So so the challenge is bake a satellites themed cake. How do they do that? How do they get the photo to us?
Well, they can email it to satellitesyouth@gmail.com. And that's where we're receiving all of our submissions, and we will let you know. I think we're going to say entries closed by Tuesday afternoon, same as this week. So Tuesday afternoon, I'm sure we'll be sending reminders to the WhatsApp groups. But yeah, get baking, get creative. We're sure that your family will love you for this, because then they get to eat a cake as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. We're very, very excited. And congratulations again to Henrik for this week's win. Very exciting, very, very well deserved. And now we're going to move on to a game time with Martin.
Brilliant. Yes, we are. It's time for that bit of satellites that you all love, where we hope that somebody doesn't hack us or take up 100 accounts on Kahoot. But we're very excited because this week, the quiz on Kahoot, we have a 3-digit code to get in, which we think might be some sort of mistake, or like we've been promoted to like a new level of seniority on Kahoot or something. But anyway, you only need to type in 3 numbers to register on Kahoot, and they are this week 396. If you put that into Kahoot, that will get you into the game, which is themed this week around the topic of tonight's talk. And tonight we're going to be thinking about money. Which is not going to, as I said, it's not going to be one of us giving the talk. It's going to be somebody else, a special guest. But we've got a bunch of questions around the subject of money for you coming up. So log in. 396 is the code you need. How are we doing for people so far?
We're heading towards 40, I think.
Oh, that's exciting.
Any exciting names in there? Because I understand it's Nimbus's special day today, Charles. So we have a Nimbus themed.
It's my dog's 13th birthday, so there you go. It's also my godson's 2nd birthday, but it's also primarily my dog's 13th birthday.
Amazing. We have got, well, Pepe the Frog is back. Pepe the Frog had a good run last time. Yeah. We've got Cornish pasty, one of our faves.
Great name.
And who else have we got? Boris Johnson is back. His recovery is getting better and better. Oh, who else? Nimbus is here. We can confirm. Michael Jordan. Expected
item in bagging area.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what. Expected item. Can you imagine if you went to the supermarket and scanned something that went expected item in bagging area? That would be really weird, wouldn't it? Like, I knew you were going to buy
a sort of prophetic scanner.
Yeah.
We're waiting.
How are we doing then? How many people got logged in?
We've got
47.
Yeah.
Last few seconds.
That feels about right. So I think we're going to get cracking with the first question. So the first question is, what is the official currency of Denmark? Is it the krona, the corona, the glona, or the om? That's the first question. What's the official currency of Denmark? Is it the krona, the corona, the glona, or the om?
I don't know this one.
You don't know this one.
I think I do.
Wouldn't it be interesting if it was?
That's the name of the kingdom in Tangled.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
It's also the name of a beer that's gone, that like no one's buying anymore in America.
Yeah.
That's actually very funny.
I
think.
So we've got the results from question 1, and clearly people know their currencies because far and away the most popular answer is the correct one. It's the krona, the Danish krona. Okay, so question number 2 coming. Oh, sorry, no. Who's at the top after one question?
Becky number 1.
Yes.
Oh, Michael Jordan's here.
What, the
Amazing.
basketball legend?
Ah, star of Space Jam.
The
Come
one,
on.
the only.
Welcome. Okay, I bet also he doesn't ever find that joke funny. Just FYI. Right. Question number 2. It's a Morrison's themed question. I don't know if you've been to Morrison's recently. How much is a single pint of milk in Morrison's right now? I mean, it's open right now. So what? How much is a single pint of milk? 1 pint of milk in Morrison's right now. Is it 45p, 50p, 52p, or 55p? Those are your options: 45p, 50p, 52p, or 55p. Anyway, you had to do the queue to get into Morrison's yet, guys?
I've witnessed it.
Oh. I've actually only been during the quietest sort of like final hour, so I have not had to queue yet, for which I'm very, very grateful. It has meant that most of the shelves are empty.
Yeah. So we got a few seconds left on this.
25p in Morrison's at the moment.
Are they? People will leave this stream right now to go there. Okay, time's up. And the most popular answer was 55p, but the correct answer is 50 pence. It's actually a round 50p. That was the beginnings of a trick question. So who's top after that?
Oh.
Unexpected item is number 1. We also have expected item, but unexpected item is currently leading.
Mini Ford in second. How exciting.
Wow.
Okay, well, look, this is hotting up. Let's move on to question number 3. Which bank is currently advertised by Ant and Dec? Which bank is currently advertised by Ant and Dec? Is it NatWest, HSBC, Santander, or Barclays? NatWest, HSBC, Santander, Barclays. Do you know that one, Katie?
I don't actually. I don't watch telly, so I don't see advertisements.
Oh, you don't watch telly, of course.
No,
what about
only
you,
Netflix.
I think I know it. Yeah, I do know this one because I do watch TV.
We've got about 10 seconds left on the clock. Oh, and many of you knew that one. It's the correct answer, Santander. Well done. Which means,
now
what's that
I
done
know.
to the standings? Oh. Just a little flicker at the bottom there, but otherwise all the same. Question number 4. And it's a controversial EU question. Question number 4. When was the euro first introduced? When was the euro first introduced? There were a number of countries that had it to begin with, and then it expanded out, never as far as the UK. But when was the euro first introduced? Was it 1985, 1993, 1999, or 2001? Those are your 4 options again: 1985, 1993, 1999, or 2001.
Oof.
What about this one? Do you know this one, Katie?
I don't actually.
No.
I have an idea,
Join
but
us.
I don't. I'm learning something new. I learn something new on Satellites Live every week.
That's good, isn't it? It's like school. And well, a fair split of answers there, but the correct answer was actually 1999. And I think that was the most popular answer. So well done, all of those that are paying attention in whatever lesson does that.
The Jacominator has moved up as well. Becky is now out of the top 5. Sorry, Becky. So I know how much this means to you.
This is a massive question, this one. What is the official currency of Lithuania? Come on, Katie, you must know this one. Is it the zloty, the ruble, the litas, or the euro? What is the official currency of Lithuania? Is it the zloty, the ruble, the litas, or the euro? I have no idea if I said the third one correctly.
If anyone's ever been to Lithuania, let us know.
Yeah. Has anyone been?
I would love to meet someone who's been to Lithuania.
Got about 15 seconds left. Most of the answers now in, though. It's just a few people quivering over litas and ruble. And a very even split, but the correct answer is euro. It is a Eurozone country. So what's that done to the scoreboard, I wonder?
Parsnip Dad coming up.
Shout out to Parsnip Dad.
It's not really changed much, has it? Oh, but Nimbus is the highest climber.
Is that reflected in real life, Charles? Can Nimbus climb?
No, he mostly sleeps, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're on to another question. Right. This is a maths question. If Charles wants to spend £360 on bobbleheads, which are priced at £7 each, how many can he buy? He will have a little bit of change. If Charles, have I expressed that question clearly? If Charles wants to spend £360 on bobbleheads priced at £7 each, how much can he buy? How many can he buy? 43, 51, 55, or 57?
Did you manage to find a picture of me, Matt?
Wow.
That's
Too
amazing.
close together. Is that you, Charles?
It looks like it, yeah.
With all the bobbleheads.
Yeah.
This could be Becky's comeback.
Come on, Becky.
This is a hard one.
It's quick maths.
£360 on bobbleheads, priced at £7 each.
With a little change.
Wow. Is that the correct
Wow.
answer? Well done. Most of you
Guys
got that
are on
right.
it.
Yeah, 51 is the correct answer. So most of you got that. So let's see what that does to the scoreboard. No change at the top. Who's leading? I can't see it on my screen.
We've still got unexpected item.
Unexpected item, sitting pretty comfortable now at the top of the leaderboard. But two questions left. Question number 7. Whose face is on the reverse of the new £20 note? There is a new plasticky £20 note. Whose face is on the reverse? Is it the artist Turner, the painter Constable, the writer Hardy, or the artist formerly known as Prince?
I really want it to be green. I really want it to be green.
Is it the artist Turner, the painter Constable, the writer Hardy, or the artist formerly known as Prince? Does anyone know their first names?
Thomas Hardy.
It is Thomas Hardy, that's
Williams,
right.
Turner.
I don't know, but anyway.
Isn't that from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, that is from Pirates of the Caribbean. That's right. Right, so the correct answer, most you got that actually, that is the artist Turner. And I wonder what that's done to the leaderboard. No change at the top.
Oh, no. Sophie is now in 3rd place.
Yes.
Do we have a situation where mathematically anyone can still win?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, great. Well, not everybody. Okay, so final question. This is a personal interest. How much is the RRP of the Lego Death Star, which I have been dreaming about during lockdown? What is the recommended retail price of the Lego Death Star, which I have been dreaming about during lockdown? Is it £409, £449, £469, or £499? I'll be honest, I'd pay £999. Does anyone have it? If anyone has it, can you put that on the WhatsApp? Because you could become like favorite young person. I can do that.
Are there multiple editions yet?
I think there are multiple editions. It's the one that's available right now on the Lego store.
Wow. Now I've got my eyes set on the Disneyland train station. Oh
wow! Well, now the correct answer was £409, but that wasn't the most popular answer. So let's see what that's done to the final scoreboard. Anyone excited?
Yeah, I am.
I'm ready.
Sophie is 3rd.
Well done, Sophie.
Wow, Sophie really swooped in there.
Mini Ford, and then on top.
Well done.
Unexpected
item.
Well done, unexpected item. So is
very,
that
very impressive.
Is that the first time unexpected item was won, or is that a
I think the return to the winning. I think he's won before and he's come back.
Well done, absolute quiz master. This week, unexpected item is our winner. Great, well done, Katie.
Yes, I borderline fought to be able to do this introduction this time, because we now have a talk coming up from a leader who's not us, so you get to enjoy watching a face that is not one of ours. This is one of my favorite people in the world. This is one of my best friends since I was very young, because I'm very old now, and and she is going to talk to us about money. She is just a very wise person, a very entertaining person. Without going on for too long, this is Megan with our talk for this week.
Hi everyone, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Megan, I'm one of the leaders at Satellites, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about money. One of the questions that I've been asked a lot before is, are you a saver or a spender? And I'm sure you guys have been asked this question too. For me, it's quite easy. I'm a massive spender. I'm not proud of it, neither is my bank account, but I'm the sort of person that will see something and be convinced that I need it, even if I obviously don't. I look at it and I'm like, I might need this one day, I may as well get it now. And it's kind of the world we live in is a very spender type world. Everything is always in your face with adverts and shop window presentations and all that kind of stuff of have this, get this. If you have this, you'll be happy. You need this, you must have it. And I remember when I started working in retail, one of the first things they said to me is talk to the customer. And I remember thinking, oh, that's really nice. You know, it's very welcoming and gets everyone involved and it's a nice friendly atmosphere. But in reality, the main reason they wanted me to talk to the customer is because customers are more likely to buy stuff if you talk to them or if you sell it to them. And over time, it's kind of built up in our sort of society, specifically Western society, that kind of idea of, you know, you need lots of money in order to be successful, in order to be happy, in order to be whole and fulfilled. And that's kind of promoted by, you know, celebrities on social media with all their cars and houses and expensive clothes. And that pushing that idea of, look how happy I am, I have everything I could ever want, I am so happy, and you know, if you want to be like me, you need to have all this stuff. And obviously in reality, stuff does not make you happy, stuff does not make you whole, it doesn't sort of fill what we're really looking for, it doesn't satisfy. And that's not to say that money is a bad thing, it's not, it's great. But I think it's important to recognise what effects money can have and then learn how to deal with that. And I think one of the main effects that it can have is the effect on your image and identity. So image is basically how you see each other and how the world sees you, and identity is then how you see yourself. So for image, it's kind of within how we interact with each other. It takes 1/10 of a second to judge somebody, and because obviously you can't have a conversation in 1/10 of a second, the first kind of port of judgment will be appearances, and money plays a huge part in that. So what are they wearing? Are their clothes designer? Are they expensive? Do they have lots of jewelry? Is their hair always done? Is their phone an expensive make? You know, what's their house like? All those kind of things subconsciously start to pile up a judgment of how we see someone, although you probably wouldn't know the house size from just looking at them. But the effect that that can have is that gradually the world puts the idea into our heads of being judged on materialism, and the idea of your worth and your value comes from what you own and the stuff that you have. And that can start to affect how you see yourself, which then goes on to identity. So it gets quite easy to get stuck in a cycle of, I want this, I don't know, this plant. If I had this plant, I would be so happy and fulfilled. And you want this plant more than anything, and you might save up your money and get this plant, and you're like, great, my life is perfect. And then you have the plant for like a day, it starts to die, you know, you overwater it, or you're bored of it, it's not really as you expected it to be. And you get distracted and drawn to something else, and you're like, wow, this is what I need to be happy. And then the plant kind of gets forgotten about, it doesn't fill the void, and you're on to something else. And it can get really addictive, this cycle. But what breaks the power of that cycle is the knowledge that we have as Christians, that our identity is not in plants or it's not in stuff, it's in God, and the fact that we are God's children, and the fact that our identity is in Him. We are His masterpiece. It says in the Bible, we are His masterpiece. He doesn't judge us based off the stuff that we have. He looks at what is inside our hearts and what's on the inside. And also that knowledge that we are valued, whoever we are, whatever we have, we are still loved and valued. And that's what frees us from this sort of power of the cycle of needing things, because you will never be satisfied that way. But knowing that your identity is in God and that you are seen, loved and valued can start to break the power that that will have over you. And it's really freeing as well. Again, practically, how can we sort of, you know, deal with this practically? Because it's all very well to say, oh, I see myself as God's child, but what can I do? How can I put into practice ways that will sort of help break the power that money might have over us. And I think one of the ways is to use what you do have in a really positive way. It doesn't matter how much money you do have, but there are so many charities and other things that would really benefit from a donation. Like at the minute, the NHS is like really struggling because of Corona. So any donation to that or to a food bank charity or anything like that would really, really help. And also it stops the focus and the pressure being so much on you. And it takes it out into other people. It shows that you can use what you have for good. It doesn't matter how much you have, you can use it for a good cause. And also when this is all over and we're back to being with our friends again, kind of noticing how we can adapt that into our friendship groups. So for example, instead of doing things that would cost a lot of money and might end up leaving people out, or people might not be able to get involved as much, is to do things that don't cost anything, because at the same time you're still hanging out with your friends. It makes no difference. And then also things like if you're, in the coffee shop buying a coffee, maybe grabbing one for your friend. That kind of idea of giving what you have to other people rather than sort of keeping it to yourself in your late night online shopping spending sprees. Another way I think that you can sort of engage that practically is to follow God's example, and have accountability for yourself, and how you judge others. So for example, it's a little thing, but rather than complimenting someone on their shoes, compliment them on a personality trait that you love about them, or something about their personality and who they are as a person. It's little things like that, by just spreading that kind of idea among the people that we're with, that we know that we are loved and valued and are judged not by what we have, but by who we are as people, is when you can start to break that power for other people as well. Mother Teresa, you may have heard of her, she's kind of cool. She said that the greatest poverty she has ever seen was in the Western world, and the only way to really break that is to be the change yourself. So kind of taking that knowledge that you are not your bank account, you are not your clothes, your phone, your house size, taking that knowledge that you are loved and you are valued for who you are, and putting that into the world, that's kind of our job as Christians. And it's kind of the message that we need to take out into the world. I'm really sorry that was so fast. I only had a little amount of time. But yeah, I hope you'll have a lovely week.
Hey,
Fantastic.
that was
Wow.
great.
That's
Brilliant.
amazing.
So good.
Thank you, Megan. It's so nice to have a competent speaker at last giving the talk at Satellites. Thank you. That was brilliant.
Very true.
I mean, we don't need to explain anything that Megan said there, but has anyone got any thoughts just about this topic of money and some of the stuff that that Megan was talking about? Charles, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, can I speak?
Yes.
So I did have thoughts. First of all, as you said, it's nice to see a different face than just ours this week. My thought off the back of it is the idea that like money isn't the root of all evil. I think sometimes the scripture's misquoted, and often it's said, oh, money is the root of all evil. And actually it's not. Like in the Bible, it says it's the love of it. And I think that's really important in terms of what Megan just said. And so I really loved that. And it fits into the Satellites model really well. The idea that we shouldn't have money in the center of our worlds, or in the center of our lifestyle. Like our lives shouldn't revolve around money, it should revolve around God. And therefore, if we put God at the center, then money revolves around that. And it's how do we use our money to honor God? And I think she touched upon that really nicely in terms of giving it away to charities and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd also say I love just the concept of being aware that we shouldn't be judging others for how much money we think they do or don't have. I think especially when we've got maybe less than others, we can kind of get a holier than thou idea of ourselves, and sort of think that somehow we're more virtuous or we're better because we don't have as much money, when actually there are people who look at us and go, oh my goodness, you have more than I will ever have in my whole life. And it's actually like what you said, Charles, it's really about where your heart is at, because you can have no money at all and still actually be a very greedy person, and you can have a lot of money and still be an incredibly generous person. Likewise, you can have a lot of money and be a very unfulfilled person, or not a lot of money and be an incredibly fulfilled person. So I think yeah, it is challenging sometimes, especially when you can kind of see straight away like whether someone, you know, you can tell whether someone has a lot of money or not. But I in the best way, I think, in my own life, I found that I forget which ones of my friends are the wealthiest or the least wealthy, because once I get to know their personalities, once I get to know anyone's personality, and I make the effort to actually understand who they are as a person and where they're at, their money doesn't really factor into who they are and how I see them or how I act around them. And yeah, some of the most generous people I know are people who have much less than me or much more than me. And I don't. Yeah, I think there's a lesson that we can all take from there. And Megan just said it beautifully.
Generosity is an element of our character that we develop and grow over time, but it's not something to put off until you're a grown up. It's not because you've not got very much money right now. It's not a thing to say, oh, I'll worry about that when I've got a job and I've got loads of money, because it's really, really hard to develop generosity. It's actually just not something that comes naturally to us, because our culture is always telling us to think about ourselves and put ourselves first. And so actually it's really important to start to develop that muscle of generosity early on. It's way easier to learn to give away money when you haven't got very much than it is to learn to give away money when you've actually got a fair amount of money coming in. It's way easier to say, hey, I get £10 a week. I'm going to decide to give £1 of that to charity, than it is to be earning lots of money when you're much older and think, oh, I'm just going to start giving a portion of that away every week. So our advice to you would be, do think about this stuff now. What Megan said is really, really helpful, really important. Start thinking about it now, and you will reap the dividends, as they say in the financial world, when you're older. Great.
Absolutely.
Enough of that. Charles, it is time for perhaps the most nail-biting and exciting element of the show. Did I just call it a show?
Without a doubt.
We'll call it a show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Rank Your Thanks.
Puppy dogs and rainbows, flowers too. Just some of the things which make me say thank you. Don't be hateful, just be grateful. It's time to rank your thanks. Woo!
Welcome to the semi-final of Rank Your Thanks. This is the show segment that we rank your thanks. We have been doing this. We've been on a journey, and we are now at the semi-finals. So it comes down to 4 competitors, and you can vote to get them into the final. So we want you to join our Kahoot. We've got a slightly longer code this time. It's 935660. Come join so that you can vote. Your vote has never been more important. I've always wanted to say that. Your vote has never been more important. Spoons may have gone, but the show continues, okay? We need to find out from the final 4 who is going to go through to the final. This is very exciting. So we're just waiting for a few more people to come online. Spoons has joined. Someone's joined as Spoons.
No.
Do not let that go.
If you are playing with family members, this has the potential to make or break some of your relationships. Yeah. Just putting it out there. There's some tough choices that are going to have to be made this week.
Yeah. I agree that there's some really tough choices. I'm going to be interested to see which one. I've made my predictions of who's going to the final, but I don't know. It's up to you guys. You could change it completely. It looks like we're nearly ready to go. So we'll give you a couple more seconds and then we'll go. Birthday dog has joined. I don't know whether that's my dog. That might be another dog who's got his birthday today. But happy birthday to all dogs who share a birthday with my dog today. Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Maybe birthday dog's just a dog that comes around to your house and like sings happy birthday to you, like barks happy birthday. You imagine that?
That would be lovely.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay, right. Let's go on to our first round, which is Netflix and Co. versus Friends and Family. It's Friends versus Friends, Modern Family versus Family. This is a tough one. Katie, where are you landing on this?
Do you know what? I'll be honest. I'm at the point of isolation now where if it's a choice between interacting with the family that I live with and staying sane through watching things on my laptop, I'm probably more likely to lean towards my laptop. But if it's seeing friends that I have not seen now for weeks and weeks and potentially months, it's friends, without a second thought.
Yeah. Martin?
Yeah, I'm in a similar place because all these kind of Netflix and Disney Plus and things like that are getting us through lockdown. But also the one thing we desperately love to do is see our family and our friends again. And I'm sure we all feel that very keenly. I realize I've gone very worthy. I'm going for Netflix.
Okay. Wow. Okay, let's find out. It's not up to you two. It is up to people watching at home. Are you going to vote for
Nation.
Netflix and Co, or are you going to vote for
Nation.
friends and family? It's not quite the nation. Let's just say the county of Surrey plus some people in Somerset. Let's not go too crazy. Okay, we're getting the answers. Friends and family has won by a landslide of 82%.
Wow, you guys are better people than us.
To go. But
Well done,
Netflix,
guys.
it's sad to see you go. But friends and family are moving into the final. Okay, this one's going to be an interesting one. I don't know where this one's going to go. So this is chocolate versus school. Okay, I don't know about this one. This one's a difficult. I can see it going both ways. Katie, I think you're firmly in the chocolate zone. Is that right?
I'm camped at chocolate, and I don't plan on moving anytime soon. Yeah. School is a beautiful experience for some people. It wasn't for me. I'm so glad it's in my past. Chocolate all the way.
Wow. Some strong words there from Katie. Martin,
Yeah.
do you have anything different opinion or?
I'm still reeling from Katie. You're firmly in the chocolate zone. I think I liked school. I didn't love it. I love chocolate. I don't just like it. Therefore, I'm going for chocolate.
Martin, have you considered though that your love of school might just be your love of sending your children to school?
No, I love homeschool. I love school with Mr. Saunders. Yeah, it's amazing. You can't come.
Is it
As the
is that love
only
both
parent
ways,
ever.
Martin? Or
I
is
don't
it-
know. Maybe we can let them be the judges of that. But
Okay.
imagine a school made of chocolate.
I don't want to.
It would melt in the summer. It'd be rubbish.
I wonder whether
Rosa's saying
people
there's
are.
other food in the world. Oh! I did not predict that.
Wow.
63% for chocolate. Next week's got to be fun, isn't it? Okay, cool. So chocolate will be moving through. That was quite tight. I mean, a 13% difference. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So it'll be friends and family versus chocolate in the final next week. And we'll also do a third place vote as well between school and Netflix and Co. I wonder which one's going to win that one. Cool. So that is the end of the semi-finals of Rank Your Thanks. Take it away.
I mean that's amazing, isn't it? Because the live sport, you haven't got live sport anymore, but you've got Rank Your Thanks every week on Satellites Live. I imagine that's why people are tuning in from across the nation.
Yes,
to watch
across the nation
every week.
I'm going to try it again, Martin. I'm just going to do it one more time.
Oh,
Take
sorry.
it away.
Did I miss that the link isn't me?
No, it's all right. I'll do it again. I'll do it third time. Like,
wait a minute. Wait, Charles.
No, wait, what?
I'm not clear of what's supposed to happen now. I didn't cover this in the planning meeting.
Oh, maybe there isn't.
Puppy dogs and rainbows, flowers too. Just some of the things which make me say thank you. Don't be hateful, just be grateful. It's time to rank your thanks. Woo!
Wow.
I mean, yeah.
Well, why don't we just move away from that segment and move on to our other favorite segment, which is Zachary's faith questions. And here is the first one. Please work.
How do you know which order to read the Bible in?
Wow, Zachary, great question. Thank you for that. Yeah, this is something that we think about a lot. I mean, we've explored this a little bit in faith questions in the past, right? Like, where do I start with the Bible? What does it mean? So really simply, the Bible is divided into two segments. We know that, don't we? Old Testament and New Testament, which is basically everything before Jesus and then everything from Jesus's birth onwards. And so within those two kind of main chunks of the Bible, there are some suggestions for the order in which you read them. So the New Testament is pretty chronological, which is nice. So we read 4 different accounts of Jesus's life in the Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And then we read about the early church in a book called Acts. And then from there, it's less kind of a narrative and more just letters that Paul wrote to the churches that were kind of scattered across general Asia and Europe during kind of the years after Jesus's death. And so that's where we get more of our principles for Christianity, our kind of guide on how we live, some really, really practical stuff in there, although it was written for a different cultural context. So that you can read really in any order you like, but I always say it never hurts to start with Jesus's life. It never hurts to look at who he was and learn from what he did, even if it might not be practically, you know, walking around and fishing and preaching on mountains and things like that. We learn so much from the choices that he made and how he responded to certain situations. So if in doubt, start with the New Testament. The Gospel of Luke, the Gospel of John, those are both incredible places to start if you're just never picked up a Bible before. In terms of the Old Testament, part of it's chronological, part of it's just like all over the place, part of it is like things about wisdom, part of it is just weird and we don't really fully understand why it's there, and that is completely okay. But the book of Genesis is an excellent read. It reads like a story. We read about the whole world, we read about one family, we learn so much about God's character. So I would also say that is a great order to start in. Move from Genesis onwards. And again, we're just going to shout out the Bible Project because they make amazing videos, which you can find on YouTube, you can find on their website as well, that just explain books of the Bible in really entertaining and understandable and accessible ways, and just make us all feel much smarter than we actually are. I hope that kind of answered your question, and we're going to hear a second question now that's going to be for Charles.
I've always gone to church since I was a baby, and I've done all the standing up and living your life but I still feel like it's my parents making me do it, and I sometimes don't do because I have other commitments. Is this one?
I just love him. So that was a great question, and thank you so much for your honesty in that question. I think this is why this section is so good, is the fact that you can ask these questions without feeling judged and without us knowing who's asking them. So that, yeah, I'm really great, really brave to do, and I'm really grateful for it. I would first of all say that I don't think it's wrong. I think if that's how you feel, that's how you feel, and that's all right. But I would ask, like, what is your faith input? So what do you have in your day-to-day routine that is engaging you in your faith, or getting you to ask those questions? And it's clear that you're already watching this. So I would say Satellites is a little bit like church. It's not maybe the stone wall building